Howdy, how's it going? I don't even know how to introduce myself anymore because it's been such a long time. Hi, my name is Charlene, known as Miss Curvy Girl of Love on Instagram, Facebook. I'm a plus size model, mental health activist, and soon to be licensed mental health counselor. Just have exciting announcements before we start, and then I have not so exciting announcements. I just graduated. It's been a long journey. I just graduated with my master's degree, clinical mental health counseling. So I'm on my way to being a licensed mental health clinician. So right now it's just master's level clinician, so I'm really excited. I have so much that I have learned in my field of psychology counseling, so I'm just really excited to share with you guys that news. And the not so exciting news is that I apologize on being absent. I have just been taking care of my family. It has been a very overwhelming journey where a family member of mine has been very sick, so it's just required me to have my full undivided attention, and so it's just been something that has just been draining me emotionally, as long as doing schooling at the same time. So I've just had some time for self-care, to be more with family throughout this transition, so I apologize, guys. So how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well, doing great. So just want to talk about my powerful testimony that is spirit-led. It is something that God put in my possession to have. It's a powerful testimony that I'm going to share with you guys about my car buying experience. And just a disclaimer, this is not to make anyone feel jealous, or like I'm not bragging or being prideful or any type of thing. I'm just talking about the goodness of what God does in our lives when we are obedient, when we listen, when we surrender things that no longer is going to serve us good. We just have to be open-minded to things that God wants in our direction. So honestly, guys, I was not in a position where I wanted to buy a car, but God says man uses people to guide us into this direction, and I really want to give all the people that helped me out in this transition a very big thank you, from the salesman who helped me custom make my car, to my fiance who helped me get into that transition, where I had a Jeep Compass, very small car, and I have a big family, so I have a lot of siblings that I travel with. I take my mom and dad, my grandpa to appointments, and I just felt like I need to have more of a family car, as well as safety and security. So I really hit the jackpot with this car, and I'm just really excited, y'all. All right, so let's get into this video. So guys, I want to give the praise to God, giving God all the goodness, all the praise for every single thing I have in my life is because of him. Y'all, I just am so grateful for what God does in my life and what God is going to continue doing in my life, and I'm really hoping to share more of that blessings in my platform, and sharing more of how can God help you in your life as well, so that you could be more open to receiving more of that goodness of what God has for you. So like when in the beginning I said being open and obedient, and another thing is being patient in that waiting room. Patience is going to come a long way, and I am really patient. All right, so let's get into this video. So I'm really excited. So the first thing I did was ask God permission. I said, God, please let me know if it's something that you want me to do. Like in my mind, at the current mind state, I wasn't really ready for buying a car. I just graduated, but God put that in my heart. He said, yes, here you go. I was getting pre-approvals, something that I wasn't able to do in the past. I was always rejected by banks. My credit was not good. I was just really needing a co-signer all the time. And you know, pre-approval doesn't give you guarantees, so that was another scary part. It's not, yes, here you go. It's a, yes, maybe, let's see where you're at with everything, but let's see if you are actually approved. So I was, you know, it's good to have that passive yes, but I was still afraid because at that point I sold my car. I sold my Jeep Compass to CarMax. It was very interesting. My car was still a baby girl. I still was driving the Sorento, which is me and my fiance's car most of the time. So my car was still having 37,000 miles on it. It wasn't really something that I drove a lot. Something I really didn't drive my family in because it was really small. So I was more in, you see more of my videos with the Sorento, Kia 2021 Sorento. Lovely car. Love the family. It has 7-passenger. I absolutely love that Sorento. So we still have that. But that's husband's car. That's my fiance's car. So it's not in my name. I did buy him that car because I felt like it was something that we needed. But it was time for me to have something in my name as well. So yeah. All right, so once I sold the Jeep to CarMax, I wasn't expecting to get so much money back that they even like gave me a refund of $100. Honestly, I was a little bit nervous. I wasn't over or wasn't under too much where I had to pay the CarMax dealership some of the fees that were gonna, you know, I needed to pay them out, and I was just at that sweet spot. It wasn't too much or too over, it was just right. So I had some money back that they sent me and gave it to me in a check right there. I was really excited. It was honestly about some monies back, so I'm really excited. I had additional money from the bank that I financed back from. I was like, this is gold, this is God's blessing giving me more back. So I was really excited about that. So once I sold the car, I had no car. So I'm like, God, it's in your hands. I'm surrendering it. I believe in the power that you have and the power that you could do and how you put people in our steps to be closer to you, God. And every day I prayed that when they custom made this car, that it would be made in God's image and God's, you know, God's equipment. Like, God, please equip this car with safety, because one of the biggest things I wanted in this car was safety features. So we took it to New York the week of I bought my car. No, we're really not supposed to break in a car the first week, but I wanted to go see my grandma in New York with my family, my siblings, my grandpa. So we went to New York, and I was able to bless my grandma with some money and give her some things, and just to give gratitude for just being here, being in America, and being thankful that, you know, we have these riches and things that we have in our lives. So just, you know, giving back and giving back to my mom and my grandpa. We went on a huge shopping spree. It was the biggest shopping spree we ever went. I think it's about like $1,000+ and this is just the beginning. So that, not being broke or anything, I'm just really giving the praise to God for being in this position where we are able to be blessed so that we could bless others. Because it really wasn't about me. It was being about family. It was about giving and giving things that God has helped me be able to bless others. And that's what I've asked from God. I said, God, please bless me so that I could be able to bless others. So that's another thing. All right, so I went back to the car situation when I was, so when I sold the car, when I got to the dealership to sign paperwork, I was just a little nervous because, you know, I am self-employed at the moment. You know, I work as a model and I work as a nurse for my grandfather and my mother. So it's another thing that I have on my plate. And so being able to prove the income was very important for that car buying opportunity. Honestly, when I bought my Jeep, I was not, well, I was pretty lucky. I was also self-employed only as a model at that time, and they didn't use my income as something because it was self-employed work. So I was really lucky to have being my grandfather's nurse at the time, well, being my grandfather and my mother's nurse, so that I could be able to show that stability of being in that process of, you know, this is my income and this is how I find a vehicle. So I'm really thankful that God has put me in this position where I'm able to help my family out in this transition. And in the past, like I was mentioned before, I was not able to get co-signers. I was not able to buy big vehicles like this. Y'all, before all this, before I was a passive believer, I did not have the income, I did not have the credit, but everything came because of God. My credit skyrocketed. My money was coming from God. Money comes from God. God as a provider. I was never asking God, how am I going to pay my bills? Never. Because I know that money was coming because of Him. And it's always been something that God as a father, I know that is something that He's always gonna continue to bless us with, because I have been so obedient and faithful, and I've been in the waiting room for the longest time. One time when I was having to wait in the waiting room of God, I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to cry in this. I didn't want to cry. But He's just been such a good provider in my life. And everything I have is because of Him. Because I let the Holy Spirit lead me. I let God lead me. And yeah, I said I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to cry. My makeup's running. Deep breaths. Yeah, because, you know, it's just knowing that my source is from God, and knowing that I should never worry, because everything that I have is because of Him, and I'm very thankful for more of the blessings that are coming my way. And you cannot curse anything that has been blessed and things that are working for you in your life. So it's been just an amazing blessing. Yes, when everyone says, like, God, I don't know what, maybe a few times, but I know I was patient. I know God was sending money from, you know, He's always, like, when I had those tribulations, those trials in my life, I know money was coming from somewhere. And we all had those times too. So I got paid on Instagram, I feel like I get paid from YouTube. I have money flowing in every direction, so I'm just really grateful for the blessings that God has for me. So yeah, so once I was there at the dealership, I got approved, and I was just so nervous because I wasn't sure. It was something that, like I said, I wasn't able to do in the past, but God has worked those steps throughout the years that I've been such a good child, and just listening and staying tuned to God, and just knowing, just making God work in my life, just making Him work in my life, asking God, what is it that you want me to do in my life? Let your will be done. Let me be things that I want to be doing in your life. I just want to make sure I'm not crying. Yeah, so now my face is running. So once I got the approval, I got the green light, I was able to drive my car within God's amazing time, because they said 7 to 14 days it was going to take. That Monday I was waiting for when everything was all paperwork and insurance was all set. I asked the salesman. He was such a sweetheart. He was heaven sent, because he was so sweet, and just helping me custom make my car was amazing process. Everything went so smoothly. So when I custom made my Palisade, my 2023 Palisade, I was just really excited because honestly this car was out of my league, and God just put it in my position where He's like, gives me the luxury that I need. Very equipped luxury car. I love it. So sorry, I have to cut this video short because of the time frame. So I just want to thank the dealership, the people, God, and most important God, in this transition that we were able to be in. Thank you for all this process. He said that my plates were supposed to be 7 to 14 days, but it actually was the day right there. He called me that very same Monday. I called him like, when is it gonna be ready? 7 to 14 days. He said, I'll call you back a little bit. Said 7 to 14 days. So he called that afternoon and he's like, girl, come pick up your car, it's ready. I'm like, yes. I thought I was gonna wait 7 to 14 days, but I was like, you were able to go to New York that week, and I was mentioning that I was blessing my family financially and spiritually with the blessings of God, and I just want to give everyone the opportunity to just always be spirit-led, be obedient to God, and when you're in God's waiting room, just continue to pray and ask God to lead you in this transition. God does amazing things in our lives, and always be spirit-led, and that I'm going to continue having more of this God content because I just want to share with you guys the goodness of God. It has been such an amazing journey. I gotta go, guys. I love you. Let me know if you have any questions below, anything that you guys want me to help you with God, connecting more to God, how to be more spirit-led. Yeah, just leave it in the comments below. Follow me, subscribe to this channel. We'll have more content related to more of like positivity, modeling, and of course like my beliefs with God. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love y'all.